How does a company worth $30 billion, a company that literally defined an entire century of memories, just vanish? This is the story of Kodak, the giant that invented the future and then got left behind by it. Our story starts way back in 1888. George Eastman, a visionary entrepreneur, had a revolutionary idea. He wanted to make photography accessible to everyone, not just professionals. His slogan was genius. You press the button, we do the rest. He created the first easy-to-use camera and film roll. You take your pictures, send the whole camera back to Kodak, and they develop the film and send your photos back with a newly loaded camera. It was simple, it was brilliant, and it changed the world. For the next 100 years, Kodak was photography. Think about it, a Kodak moment. The phrase became part of our language. By the 1970s, they had an iron grip on the industry, controlling a staggering 90% of the film market and 85% of the camera market in the United States. From birthdays to holidays, from first steps to graduations, Kodak was there, capturing the most cherished moments of our lives. They were a cultural icon, an unstoppable force. But inside the walls of this empire, a seed was planted that would eventually lead to its downfall. In 1975, a young Kodak engineer named Steve Sasson created something unbelievable. He invented the world's very first digital camera. It was a toaster-sized contraption that took 23 seconds to capture a single black and white image onto a cassette tape. It was crude, but it was the future. He excitedly presented his invention to the Kodak executives. Their reaction? Fear and disbelief. They asked him, "That's cute, but don't tell anyone about it." Why? The executives were terrified. Their entire business model, a multi-billion-dollar empire, was built on selling film, paper, and chemicals. This new filmless photography threatened to kill their golden goose. They saw digital not as an opportunity, but as a direct attack on their profits. So they buried it. They chose to protect their present instead of embracing the future they had just invented. This single decision would become one of the biggest blunders in corporate history. While Kodak sat on its world-changing invention, its competitors were not sleeping. Companies like Sony, Canon, and Nikon saw the digital wave coming and jumped on. Throughout the 80s and 90s, they invested heavily in digital camera technology, making them smaller, faster, and better. They were building the market that Kodak had chosen to ignore. Then came the 2000s, and the digital revolution exploded. Suddenly, everyone wanted a digital camera. You could see your pictures instantly, delete the bad ones, and share them online. The demand for film plummeted almost overnight. It was a complete market shift. As if that wasn't enough, another nail was hammered into Kodak's coffin, the smartphone. When Apple launched the iPhone in 2007 with a built-in camera, it put a decent camera in everyone's pocket. The need for a separate point-and-shoot camera, Kodak's last hope in the digital space, evaporated. The company's sales charts, once soaring, went into a freefall. The end came swiftly. After years of massive losses and failed attempts to pivot, the inevitable happened. In 2012, Eastman Kodak, the titan of photography, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The news sent shockwaves through the business world. The sprawling factories went quiet, and a symbol of American innovation was brought to its knees. The story of Kodak is a powerful and cautionary tale. It's a lesson that success today doesn't guarantee success tomorrow. Kodak didn't fail because it missed the digital revolution. It failed because it invented it and then chose to ignore it out of fear. It shows that no matter how big you are, if you aren't willing to disrupt yourself, someone else will. You can invent the future, but if you don't have the courage to build it, you'll end up as a memory. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the rise and fall of iconic companies. See you in the next video.